Welcome back. Today we continue her story, a journey that spans time and reincarnation. We'll explore chapters 1 through 8, diving deeper into the moments that shape her path. Let's uncover the layers of this fascinating tale and see where it takes us next. Let's dive into Amit's extraordinary journey, one that spans time and identity. After a powerful past life regression, he uncovers a past as Swati, deeply connected to her husband Samar, who's now his wife, Aabha. As they move from Sydney to Melbourne, their bond deepens, but Amit starts feeling more like a mother than a father. In 2023, strange physical changes push him to seek spiritual guidance, all pointing to one truth: he's meant to live as a woman. Embracing his true self as Nisha, he finds acceptance and begins living openly, blurring the line between past and present identities. The drive home felt calm, almost peaceful, but inside Amit everything was shifting. Years of questions suddenly had answers, dreams, feelings, visions, a deep connection with Aabha. None of it was just imagination. He had lived before, loved before, and now he'd found that soul again. His hands trembled as he called Aabha. She answered right away, eager to know what he'd seen. Amit whispered, "I saw our previous life." Silence, then her soft reply, "We were husband and wife." For the first time, saying it aloud made it real. They belonged to each other then and now. Here, we see a quiet moment that reveals so much beneath the surface. Amit's gestures of love are tender, kissing each child's forehead, while Aabha watches, feeling that same deep affection. But their family dynamic is unusual. Amit takes on a nurturing role, like a mother, while Aabha quietly holds the strength of a father. Neither questions it, it's just how they live. Later, Amit shares memories from a past life, unlocking truths that connect them in ways they never expected. The past isn't gone, it's waiting. That night, Amit lay awake long after the boys were asleep. The regression had answered so many questions, but it also stirred emotions he'd never felt before. For years, he'd searched for explanations. Now, with answers in hand, life felt even more mysterious. One thing had changed: he no longer doubted his connection with Aabha. It wasn't just faith anymore. He had seen it, lived it. Their love had crossed lifetimes and death itself. It had found its way back. Over the weeks that followed, obstacles that once blocked him began to vanish. Things stalled for months started moving effortlessly. His Australian driving license was finally processed, and soon after, his citizenship application progressed rapidly. It felt like the universe had lifted a deep blockage. Amit wondered if accepting the truth about his past life had unlocked this path. His intuition kept telling him, once truth is accepted, life begins to flow. One evening, during a quiet walk through Sydney's cool streets, Amit and Aabha talked about their future. Sydney had been home, but property prices made owning a house impossible. Then Aabha suggested something unexpected. What if they looked somewhere else? Melbourne. Neither had family or careers there, yet both felt a deep certainty, as if something or someone was waiting. They stood beneath the streetlights, trusting an instinct that couldn't be explained. The decision was made. Sydney held their past, but Melbourne would become their future. Packing began, boxes filled the rooms, and the boys treated it all like an adventure. This was a new beginning. When the boxes kept coming, the kids climbed inside, pretending each one was a spaceship. The house was full of laughter, even amid the chaos. Meanwhile, Amit and Aabha were busy preparing for the move and exploring job options. Aabha faced one rejection after another, and Amit saw her frustration growing. So he made a quiet decision. If the transfer didn't happen, he'd find a new job. And just like that, things started falling into place. Amit landed a role with a major company in Melbourne. Suddenly, the future felt possible. The move was set, and the family turned the long drive into a memorable adventure. Arriving in Melbourne, everything was new but already felt like home. It was the start of something much bigger than they imagined.
The months after arriving in Melbourne brought a new rhythm to their lives. Amit settled into his corporate role, while the boys thrived at preschool, making friends and sharing stories every day. Aabha rebuilt her career with determination, earning a new position that helped them both move forward. Their days were full but balanced. Work, family, and weekends exploring their new city. Yet beneath this ordinary life, something extraordinary was unfolding within Amit. A deep, growing sense of womanhood that challenged everything he thought he knew about himself. Instead of pushing those feelings away, Amit found that embracing his femininity became almost effortless. He naturally thought, reacted, and cared like a woman. Motherhood came to him instinctively. The boys turned to him for comfort and reassurance, calling him Papa, yet inside, Amit felt more like their mother. Meanwhile, Aabha, though loving and protective, took on what felt like a father's role. Neither chose these roles. They just happened. But beneath this quiet shift, Amit wrestled with deep questions about identity, love, and what the future might hold.
At the start of 2023, things began to feel hopeful for Amit's family. Aabha landed a new job in Melbourne, bringing stability back with 2 incomes. Amit's mother moved in, caring for their 4 boys with love and warmth, just like a grandmother should. The boys thrived, the house was full of laughter, and life felt complete. But beneath this calm, something extraordinary was stirring inside Amit. Strange symptoms appeared: pain, swelling, even bleeding, following a mysterious monthly cycle. It was impossible, yet undeniable. Something deep within him was awakening. We often think of the menstrual cycle as a purely biological process, but for Amit, it became something much more profound. Month after month, his body followed a steady rhythm, 28 days, like clockwork. No calendar needed. His intuition told him when it was coming, but this wasn't just routine. It was a mystery that science couldn't explain. Amit faced a choice. Was this a health problem or something beyond current knowledge? To find out, he had to explore 2 paths, one spiritual, one medical. For 6 months, Amit's body kept changing in ways he couldn't explain. Every 28 days, the same symptoms returned: pain, migraines, swelling, emotional shifts, and mysterious bleeding. At first, he hoped it was temporary, then a medical condition. But as time passed, those hopes faded. His body, mind, and instincts were shifting. By the end of 2023, Amit no longer doubted who he was inside. Yet he faced a deeper question: how was this possible? Conventional medicine offered answers he couldn't accept. So he turned to the spiritual world, seeking clarity beyond science, exploring astrology, tarot, and more, hoping to find the truth that connected it all. Up to this point, Amit's journey has been extraordinary, marked by spiritual encounters, past life memories, and profound shifts in identity. Practitioners from many backgrounds all saw the same future: Amit becoming a woman, embracing motherhood, and living as a wife, while Aabha would take on the role of husband. Yet no one could explain how such a transformation might physically happen. The mystery deepened, and so did Amit's inner conflict. By the end of 2023, he knew hope wasn't enough anymore. It was time to seek medical answers, to share his truth with strangers, and face the next chapter head-on. At the start of 2024, Amit could no longer ignore the changes happening to him. It wasn't just emotions or monthly cycles anymore. His body was shifting in ways he hadn't chosen. His skin softened, his hair grew back slower, his face looked gentler. Even his posture changed naturally. Acting like Amit became exhausting, but living as Nisha felt effortless. He realized he needed help, real, professional help. And before that, he wanted to meet himself fully, to see Nisha in the mirror for the first time. So he measured himself, bought his own clothes, and finally stepped into his true reflection. Here we see a powerful moment of transformation, when someone finally recognizes themselves, not as they were, but as who they truly are inside. It's not just about looking different, it's about feeling right. That moment changes everything. From then on, Nisha begins to build a hidden life, a secret wardrobe, a new identity, small steps toward living authentically. And when she meets Kashi, a woman who welcomes her without hesitation, Nisha finds something even more precious than clothes or jewelry. She finds acceptance, real, heartfelt acceptance.
This moment was a turning point. A long-hidden truth finally revealed. When he saw Nisha in the mirror, it wasn't about looking different. It was about looking right. That recognition sparked something deep inside. Something permanent. But living this truth came with challenges. Clothes had to be hidden. Carefully stashed away where no one would find them. Slowly, a secret life took shape. Then came a chance to embrace tradition. Beautiful Indian clothes and jewelry. Offered by a woman who welcomed Nisha without hesitation. In that shared space, acceptance blossomed, healing years of loneliness. This was more than shopping. It was belonging.
That afternoon at Kushi's house marked a turning point for Nisha. She came in hopping to buy a few traditional clothes, but she left with something far more valuable: validation, acceptance, belonging. For the first time, strangers treated her naturally as a woman, not out of pity or politeness, but simply because that's who she was. This experience began to erase years of doubt. Slowly, Nisha started meeting more women, sharing conversations, laughter, and beauty tips. Each interaction confirmed her identity. Buying clothes was just the start. The real journey was seeking professional help to find certainty. And when the experts spoke, they all saw the same truth. Nisha was already the woman she longed to be. Nisha's story is one of quiet transformation and profound validation. The words she heard, from a professional who truly understood gender identity, echoed inside her for weeks. Meanwhile, her body kept sending signals: monthly bleeding, familiar symptoms, a cycle that felt deeply affirming. To the outside world, she was Amit. But once she stepped into her own space, she became Nisha, a woman accepted without question. Each day, each interaction built her confidence. Yet living two lives grew harder, as one felt real, and the other slowly faded away. Nisha carried those words with her for weeks. They weren't from friends or family, but from a professional who truly understood gender identity. That validation meant everything to her. At the same time, her body kept sending confusing signals: monthly bleeding, migraines, mood swings. Psychologists couldn't explain it medically, but when they asked how it made her feel, she said, complete. Wearing pads quietly became a powerful act. Outside therapy, Nisha's confidence soared as she embraced her identity, seamlessly living as the woman she truly was. By this point, Nisha was beginning to see something remarkable. Every time she stepped outside as her true self, the world responded with acceptance, not confusion, not curiosity, just acceptance. The woman she'd always felt inside was no longer hidden. She was becoming part of everyday life. Each new experience built her confidence. From a professional makeup session to a bra fitting, the kindness and recognition she received quietly affirmed her identity. These moments weren't just gestures. They were powerful confirmations that she truly belonged. This chapter takes us deep into Nisha's journey of acceptance, both by others and herself. At first, Gray hesitated, unsure if the campaign was for her. But then, with warmth and openness, she welcomed Nisha in. The photo shoot was more than just pictures. It was a space where Nisha was seen as who she truly was. Outside the studio, life continued with two identities: Amit at home and Nisha in the world. The secret grew quietly, ready to reshape everything. As Nisha embraces her true self, everything starts moving faster, toward a future she once thought impossible. Through dance, healing, and deep connections, she sees every part of her life pointing to the same extraordinary destiny. Meanwhile, Aabha uncovers a shared past, revealing truths that challenge their present. Careers, families, and identities all shift, pushing them to face who they really are. Spiritual signs grow stronger, setting the stage for a transformation that will change everything. So what comes next? This video was created with SlideSpeak. Visit SlideSpeak to turn your presentations into engaging AI-narrated videos.